Greetings, loyal minions, beautiful humans. Welcome to the Sci Show, the #1 ranked YouTube channel for mothers. If you're a mother, I appreciate you. Obviously, looking at Grendel's mother makes me think of my own, purely because of the word mother, not because of anything else. Let's jump in and have a look at the portal. Legendary featured event hero 1% chance, legendary event hero 0.3%, and a classic hero 1.2. So a slightly higher chance of 1.3% of getting an event hero, whether it's featured or normal, over the classic hero. I still need these percentages to be larger. But we'll jump in and have a look at Grendel's mother. Yeah, looking very much like Grendel, which makes sense. Yeah, I like the artwork around the card. I keep saying that all the time, but no, artwork's fine. She's looking pretty cool. Max Power Preview, we are a sorcerer, which gives the talent of dropping the mana generation of the enemy, which is quite good. But the Aether talent of Fiend Resist, which is almost pointless, to be honest. Fiend Resist for 6 turns. Pretty much crappy Aether talent. We'll turn that off now. Beowulf family, hopefully she gets the good part of it. So 75, 100% chance for 1 or 2 heroes to cleanse a random cleansable status ailment from all allies. When this character receives damage from an enemy's special skill, can only activate once per turn. We do get the good passive, though, that poor old Hrothgar still misses out on, which is the empowered resist mana reduction. So character resists any mana reductions and also gain 600 boosted health and 10% mana each time they resist. So that's fantastic. Mana on buff received. The character gains 5% mana when they receive a buff or positive stack, which is always good as well. And stacking attack on damage received. So when the character receives damage from special skills, they gain plus 30% attack stack. And you get max of 10 of those. 1 stack can be gained per turn. It is quite handy. Any longer battles, Beowulf, as an example, just adds up so quickly. He ends up with so much attack near the end. He's basically one-hitting people if you happen to go along that long, and if he happens to have been hit by special skills. So, looking very good so far. That max power 1601, so that's jumped up a few extra points there. Anyway, that's a good. Very, very balanced stats there. Very high attack, defense, and HP. Special skill called Harrow the Heart. Running at slow speed, another slow purple. There has been so many recently. Having said that, I'll probably say that about everything. Like you see a fast yellow or you see a red healer, and it's like, oh, geez, there's been a lot of those lately. But I think that's just because there's so many heroes released. We're seeing a lot of everything. I'm thinking of the slow purples, like just off the top of my head, you've got Hreidmar, Vard. They just sort of stick out that there's been quite a few. But anyway, we might even compare Grendel's mother to a couple of those, but we are doing 410% damage to all enemies at slow. Excuse me. We've had horrendous weather today. It's been blowing a gale. Like I went to visit my parents earlier, funnily enough, speaking of mothers. But yeah, it was like just horrendous, disgusting weather. Raining like crazy, blowing a gale. Anyway, on top of the 410% damage, all enemies receive 1230 curse damage over 6 turns. That's up to 1700 once everything's maxed out. So, around about 300 per turn. Over 6 turns, though, so it does take a long time, starting low and increasing every turn. So it does give you a chance to get the cleanse off before it gets too high. So just keep that in mind. Source of ailments. The following effects are cast on a random enemy at the start of each turn. Plus 60% damage from status ailments for 5 turns. So that's really good because you've just put the curse damage on. So now you're giving them 60 extra percent damage. So if we throw that back up to 300, you're then giving them an extra 180. So you're looking up close to 500 per turn. Having said that, it does only hit one random enemy at the start of each turn. So the chances of getting that on all 5 are, pretty low, but it is handy. It still hits them and gives them extra damage. minus 60% for any healing received for 5 turns. Okay, so also dropping the healing of one random person. We have seen that in the other, I think, like, let me just double check. Hrothgar does that himself. I just want to double check exactly what his does. So, this is, yeah, okay, interesting. So it does do the similar. It's for 5 turns, him not being slow. But yeah, the last point was, it's actually something I've not even realised on Hrothgar. I've either it's been a recent addition or I just never read it and never really recognise it. But the source of ailments will activate 6 times. Each attempt to dispel it removes 1 activation. Yeah, I actually didn't realise Hrothgar's did that. It's a bit of a random thing to me. It's like, it's not a huge part of the special. Yes, you're giving 60% extra damage from status ailments, and if you've got 2 or 3, like, this would be a great hero, especially think of Rush War, pairing it with the Untold Tales 2 heroes that give the burn and frost damage. If you can get 2 or 3 different ailments on people, damage over time, you could be doing, this one itself can do sort of 500 with the extra. So if you say you've got 3 on there doing 500 each, it's 1,500 per turn. So, 2 to 3 turns and your whole team's going to be dead. Obviously, you need to get that set up in the first place. But, yeah, but to me, it's not a huge part of the special. The minus 60 healing, yep, that's a bit annoying. But, yeah, the fact that each time you dispel it, it just removes 1 activation. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think it'd really matter if you could just dispel the whole thing, but it's just another slightly different mechanic, which does make her a bit more useful because it does guarantee that you are going to, even if you dispel 1 or 2. I think maybe it would be better if that happened on the curse itself. So if you cleansed it, you just removed 1 turn. That to me makes a bit more sense than saying, oh, you're dispelling her, because really dispelling her extra little damage, like the 60% damage, dispelling that to me wouldn't be a priority, but getting rid of the curse damage would be. So I'd be more inclined to be worried about cleansing off the curse damage than trying to stop her, because once you cleanse the curse damage, this 60% damage to status ailments is kind of useless unless you've paired her with other heroes, but it's still useless because you're cleansing off all the ailments. So, yeah, that's a little bit strange, but maybe it would have been too overpowered if it was the other way. But yeah, that's where we're sitting with Grendel's mother. So she does quite a bit of damage for 10. I'm not sure who I can actually compare her to. Mars should be in here. Rivaldi was only average. So Hridemar, yeah, it's all enemies with 2,200, which is a bit harder to convey back. Vard, no, he's not available. Wilderness is gone. No, that's all right. Yeah, so it is quite a big hit. There's not a great deal of people doing that big a hit to all. It is slow, so again, we're just instantly going to say Rush War. Considering that curse damage takes 6 turns, I wouldn't imagine she's going to be overly useful elsewhere. Could be a tank with such good stats, and she's, you're getting off a big hit and then adding the curse damage. But again, being slow, you've generally got a chance to get that cleanse up, or even someone that blocks her. So someone like a Chang'e. There's a red person, I think, that does the same at faster speed. Damon possibly will block her being able to put that curse damage on in the first place. So there's a few ways around that. There's obviously plenty of blockers as well, so she doesn't dispel anyone first. So you can block that and just absorb the hit. But yeah, very solid hero again. I do like that not every hero that's coming out is like, oh, I've got to have that hero. That one's going to be really, really great. We need to just keep having, because even though there are new heroes and that power creep does happen, I think a lot of us get stuck into that mindset, oh, it's a new hero, we need it. But really, if there's no standout hero, you can kind of just back off spending for 2 or 3 months. And yes, the power creep then gets a little bit bigger, but you can just sort of not spend for a while and then, focus on grabbing 3 or 4 heroes at once if you do a sort of a bigger spend, if that makes sense. That's what I personally am trying to do. I get a good team in, I'm set for a while, then I try to stock up on my items, stock up on cheap deals, and then 2 or 3 months. I mean, I know I'm not successful that many times because I do end up doing more pulls than I should. But anyway, hope that all helps with that information. Grendel's mother, good hero, but nothing special. Don't go chasing. I don't even think the other featured are fantastic. Like, Modrith is quite good. Mythgeist is quite good, but neither of those are must-have. So, yeah, you can save your coins for next time. But if you're getting the free coins from the challenges and stuff, then you're doing summons. I hope you get the exact hero you're looking for. Not many people would be looking for Grendel's mother. Yeah, probably find her in the same dark alley that you'll find Exira, for anyone who's watched my Fated Summons testing video. If you haven't, go and bloody watch it. It's got a hopefully funny interlude in there with a bit of song, so go check it out. If you're pulling, best of luck to you. I hope you get exactly what you're looking for. If you enjoy what I'm doing, gently press the subscribe button. Give your kitty a scritch for me. And as always, have a bloody good one.